Okay, this is TM meditation. I'm going to be reading from a book. It's called Metaphysical Meditations by Paramahansa Yogananda. Okay, this is joy. This is meditation, joy, happiness, hope, and joy.
Love is the sweet expression of life. It is the supreme content of life. Love is the force of life, powerful and sublime. The flower of life blooms in love and radiates love all around. Life expresses itself through love. The stream of life is a wave on the ocean of love. Life is expressed in the waves of love, and the ocean of love flows in the waves of life. What a comfort love brings to the heart. The heart tickles with the thought of love, and waves of life begin to roll on the ocean of love. Every wave of life is full with the ocean of love. Yes, such a life is worth living. Every wave of life full with the ocean of love. Such a life is life. Such a life is worth living. And who lives such a life of all love, of bliss, of power, and of peace? The fortunate ones. And the fortune is open to all to design their destiny and begin to live life in all love and joy. The fortunate one uses the instrument of deep meditation and probes deep into his heart. Then the waves of love gain the depth of the ocean, and the ocean of love fills the heart and thrills every particle of being. Every wave of life then flows in the fullness of love, in the fullness of divine glory, in the fullness of grace, in bliss and peace. The stream of life then flows on the tidal waves of bliss, and the ocean of love permeates every wave of life. Love is highly sensitive. It is the most delicate power of life. And life is the most dynamic expression of love. Love is delicate, and at the same time, it is most vital and strong. A tiny, tender wave of love rocks the boat of life. Love takes life from the pangs of separation to the bliss of eternal union. From the insurmountable pangs of separation unlimited joy of eternal union swings a tiny, tender wave of love. What a miracle God has created in love. Let us live it. Let us be in love and live in love with one another and say to ourselves quietly, let thy will be done. A soft impulse of love is the soul life of a melting heart. A tiny hope of love brings the light of dawn through the darkness of a lengthy night. And love, even as the twinkling of the faintest star, keeps the light at the altar shining. And in that faintest light of love, someday, the beloved finds his way and creeps on in silence, in quietness, drawn by the tiny, tiny love which kept the door open in the hope of fulfillment. In the hope of fulfillment that someday and sometime the darkness of the night would give way to the brightness of the midday sun in a clear sky. The catch of love, though tender, is firm and strong. The glory of tenderness and strength is the glory of love. One wants to remain tender in the strength of love. The strength of love makes one tender and firm, makes one weak in wrong and powerful in right, brings forgiveness in authority and grace in all fields of life. And this is the destiny of the fortunate. Love is the fortune of the fortunate. Abundance of love is the goal of all destiny. Fortunate are those whose hearts flows in love. A loving heart, a heart full of love, is the precious essence of human life, and that, when it flows in unbounded tidal waves of bliss, it is the glory of the Supreme, the blessing of Mother Divine, and the grace of God. A wave of love flows over the whole range of life. It sweeps over the whole range of creation. The power of love pilots the plane of life, here, there, and everywhere. Love takes life from home to hill, from hill to hill, from home to home. Love is desperately seeking. It keeps the path alive and warms the goal. The silent force of love knows no barrier. It takes the life from the ruggedness of mountains to the roughness of the sea, and there, in silence of wilderness, and even so in the noisy horizon of the sea, the vast expansion of the unbounded love from a distance brings a breeze, cool and fresh, to cool the heart and soothe the pangs of separation. The delicate and kind hand of love takes life from the prick of thorns to the softness and tenderness of a rose. On the softness of the cradle of love, the life swings from the loneliness of a desperate quest to the rich plains of fulfillment. A tender spark of love lights the light in loneliness. It burns alive the pangs of the bygone past. It spreads the light of hope and joy and fulfillment. And a tiny spark of love does it. Love is the most precious gift of God to us. Let us use it for all good. Let our life be full with love. Let us love and be loving and spread grace around us. Let not the din of the world and the thick and thin of life disturb the fullness of love in us. Let us be full of grace and full of light. And in the fullness of love, let us be up and awake to serve the will of God and rise to be of real service to ourselves and to our fellow men. Let the glory of the divine dawn in love. Let the bliss of the divine effulgence and the light of love permeate our life and transform our life to the eternal life of the divine being. Let love in us spring as the light of the divine, for the divine is all love in its essential nature, and love is all divine in its truthful expression. The divine is fullness of love, and love is fullness of the divine. Love is the light of divinity. It presents the divine in man. Love is the divine life in man. Love in our hearts is the divine in heaven. The divinity of the heaven dwells in our hearts as love. Love in the heart of man is the shrine of God on earth. Blessed are those who carry the shrine of God in fullness of love in their hearts. And when the drops of love trickle down the melting heart, the angels in heaven run down to count and keep a record. No drop of precious love is ever wasted. For every drop of love flows the unbounded ocean of bliss, and the ocean of bliss unfolds the love divine and fills the heart. Then the eyes lift to God, and God raises his arms and extends his heart, and then the reality dawns. The stream of man's love finds the ocean of God's love and flows into it. And this is the glory of love. The man and God unite in the eternal ocean of love. Let us bring to our life the glory of this love, which brings the heavens in life on earth. Love of God, someone said, is an abstract concept. Yes, it is abstract. It takes the experience of life to make it concrete. Love of God is abstract in its infancy. But let's not forget that it begins to be concrete from the very beginning of life, and imperceptibly grows and grows to become concrete and overtakes our life in full. In its most infant state, love finds an expression on the lap of mother, in the sweetness of the mother's eye. It grows in toys and playfields, in the sweetness of friends and folks of society. It grows in the sweetness of husband and wife. With age and experience, the tree of love grows. It grows with the growth of life and evolution, and finds its fulfillment in the eternal love of the omnipresent God, which fills the heart and overthrows the darkness of ignorance. And then, in the illumination of universal love, the abstract love of God finds concrete expression in everything. All becomes divine radiance of eternal love. Life finds its meaning in the living presence of God. Every phase of life, then saturated with love, breathes the living presence of God. Here, there, and everywhere, in this, that, and everything, nothing but love and living presence of God. This is how, gradually, the personal love naturally moves on to gain the status of universal love, and universal love moves on to find its expression in personal love. There is time in life for everything. Life is progressive on the steps of love, and there is a time significant for every step in love. Every plane of love brings fulfillment to the corresponding plane of evolution. All love, in every phase of every drop of it, is significant to life. Love is the supreme blessing of life. The sun shines, and it shines forever in fullness. It may be that the clouds are gathering. Let them come and go. They go as they come. Take no notice of their coming. You go your way. Make your way through the clouds. If they lie on the way, do not try to dispel them. Do not be held by them. They will go the way they have come. They are never found stationary. But if you like to pause to see them wither away, wait for a while. The wind is blowing anyway. It is to clear the clouds from your way. Just wait to see the cloud wither away, and the sun, the same old sun of love, will shine again in fullness of its glory. When night comes, all appears to be dark, but darkness does not last. The light of the dawn comes on and spreads the love and charm of life. So we shall not mind if the darkness of the night sets in for a while. For the light of love can for certain not be gone forever. So we live in love, and we wait in love to grow in life and gain fulfillment in love eternal. Love as love is universal. Personal love is concentrated universal love. My heart flows when I say personal love is concentrated universal love. The ocean of universal love flows in the stream of individual love. What a blessing in life. The heart in whom the universal consciousness has dawned is able to have the force of the unbounded ocean of universal love, even in the stream of personal love. Those who are restricted in their ability to love, those whose love flows only in restricted channels of isolated objects or individuals, those who can only like this or that, those who have no awareness of universal consciousness in their hearts, are like small ponds where the love can flow only as ripples and not as waves of the sea. Such is the love of most of us. We love today and rise to fight tomorrow. Let us not bring shame to love. Let us rise to love forever more and more. When an ocean flows in love, it flows in peace within. When a shallow pond moves to rise high in waves of the ocean, it only stirs the mud at the bottom, and the whole serenity of the pond is spoiled. When a heart, shallow as a pond, seeks to rise high in waves of love, it creates a muddle and brings out the mud that was so far gracefully hidden underneath. To enjoy the ocean of love, we have to improve the magnitude of our hearts and gain the depth of an ocean, unfathomable and full. Let us give the status of an ocean to our heart before we let loose our love to be tossed about by the blowing winds. And having gained the status of the deep, let us open the heart for the ocean of love to flow, and let it flow in fullness. The mighty waves of love will rise in grace and hail the glory of the multiple creation with the bliss of the unity and peace within. And how do we improve the depth of our heart? By probing deep into the purity of our being, by exploring the finer regions of the impulse of love that murmurs in the silent chamber of our heart, by diving deep into the stillness of the unbounded, unfathomable ocean of love present within our hearts, by a simple technique of self-exploration, or by what is commonly known as the transcendental deep meditation. It is easy for every one of us to fathom the unfathomable magnitude of the ocean of love present within, and forever enjoy the fullness of heart in the fullness of life. Love is fullness. It is all embracing. Love binds. It is the unifying force of life. It strengthens unity. It binds, yet binds in freedom. It holds together the bonds of freedom. It knows no discord. This unity is foreign to love. Discord is foreign to love. This harmony is foreign to love. Love is purity. Love is innocence. Love is fullness, oneness, and bliss. It brings fulfillment. Love unifies the scattered ends of life and brings them all together into an integrated whole. Love is the symbol of life. Lack of love denotes lack of life content. And the show of love without genuine love is a shame to life. Simple, innocent, natural, normal state of love without inhibitions is a divine quality, which is the natural quality of graceful life. The divine grace lies in the fullness of innocent love. And in the abundance of love lies the love of God and love of God's creation. And when the lover of life finds himself in the unbounded love of cosmic consciousness, he whispers to his God within himself, "My Lord, in the temple of my heart, on the altar of thy glory, my God, my love is full and thy love is treasured safely. My love for thee is safe and full in freshness and purity at the glory of thy altar. My Lord, thy lordship is secured in the shrine of my heart, and when my love flows, it spreads the glory in thy creation." In love of God, the lover of life finds expression of the inexpressible. Cosmic life gains expression in his activity. The thought of cosmic life is materialized in the process of thinking. His eyes behold the purpose of creation. His ears hear the music of cosmic life. His hands hold on to cosmic intentions. His feet set the cosmic life in motion. He walks on earth, yet walks in the destiny of heaven. The angels enjoy his being on earth. This is the glory of unity, born of love. Let us be in love with all around us. Let us be in love. Let us in love resolve to be in love. For love is life. And certainly we do not want to step out of life. So let us in love resolve to remain in love. And let us never step out of the boundaries of lovingness. For in love dwells the power of creation, wisdom of life, and strength of all good. Certainly, our life has to be all in love. The thread of love has woven the garment of our life. We shall keep it spotlessly clean and pure. Life is a sacred gift of God to us in love. We shall not defile love and shall not spoil this sacred gift of life. Love shall be pure in our life. It will help our evolution and cosmic purpose of creation. It will maintain us on high levels of grace and glory of life. Love shall save us from wrong and guide our path in life. Love shall forever shine on our way, and the light will guide our steps, whether we go slow or fast. The light of love shall forever be with us on our way. Love shall forever be the anchor of our life. We shall be in love, and love shall be in us. We shall live in love, shall grow in love, and shall find fulfillment in love eternal. Jai Gurudev.
Luckily, I almost got eaten. What's it called? I was in jellyfish-infested waters, where my buddy got a jellyfish on his shoulders, and almost fucking died on the beach when the helicopter came and rescued him. Which we didn't know that there was this. We were in the water. Well, there was an alligator underneath us, hunting for food. We were on our surfboards. Yeah, we do a lot of different shit.
That's great. That's great.
Or is something special or something? Why do you say all that? Sorry?
You can't live in the Northwest without rattlesnakes.
Honestly, I've heard of rattlesnake, but not close enough that I've ever seen one.
I've probably killed about 30 rattlesnakes.
Yeah, I've never had that opportunity. I fucking hate snakes.
We used to get up every morning and drag rattlesnakes out from under the van tires so they were in there trying to get warm off the heat off the van tire. We used to drag them out with a shovel and hack them up.
Where?
Channel Scablands, Eastern Washington.
I didn't know that there's rattlesnakes there.
Full of rattlesnakes. What the hell?
All that the Father gives to Jesus will come to Jesus. I have no problem saying that to people within a relatively short amount of time. I'm not saying that, hey, that's the necessity of the gospel to say that, but I don't mind saying that to somebody after I've given the gospel presentation. I have no problem saying that whatsoever. Why? How can you say that? Because Jesus said it. Openly. Didn't just say that to his 12 disciples, like, don't go tell anybody this. He said it openly.
Yeah, by the way, Ty, earlier.
And, I don't understand what on earth that's supposed to be.
They just announced they're going to lose jobs because of this. CNN just announced to lay off so many people.
That was literally
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. A lot of people who thought they had job security working for the feds are going to be out of work.
They will be. Some will be. Matt, what were you saying? What does CNN report?
CNN just reported Linda McMahon to be Secretary of Education.
Again?
She was small business.
Okay.
She did lost last time.
They're the same person in my mind.
No.
That's funny.
I was trying to think
I think it's funny that a lot of people who voted for him also think that because they work for the government, they're going to be fine. But this is no interesting. They're going to lose their job.
It's weird. Feels a little dangerous, too.
It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be fucking crazy. I mean, honestly, we probably don't need as big of a workforce as we have, but, dude, they're going to gut it if they can get their way.
I don't think it's just I think they're just their goal is to find redundancies. And this is not the first time that there's been commissions appointed to federal spending. The reason that people are taking this more seriously is because you have two outsiders, as Jeff said. Vivek doesn't have political experience. Elon Musk comes from the business. They both come from the business sector. I don't think they're going to be gutting anything. They're just going to be finding redundancies and probably being able to. I think that
gutted that company too. He's gonna gut it.
I don't think he necessarily gutted it. I do feel like Twitter had a bunch of like bloated.
That's what everyone does.
Dude, every single company has like a bloated mid-level management sector. It's a nature of it. Without fresh eyes, I don't think they're going to be gutting anything. I think they are going to be finding redundancies and cutting costs.
Yeah,
and like if you say
in the water.
I mean, first off, I don't think so, because like at the end of the day, if you look at most federal programs, the post office is the only one that actually makes money.
They don't know what you're talking about.
And first off, they are a net positive program. Like they bring
overall, but they don't make money now.
But compared to every other government agency, which is just an expenditure, it's like the only government agency that like why would they cut it?
True. I can tell you they don't.
What agency are you guys talking about?
I'm saying what government agency makes more money than it spends? Like there's two. Like there's basically the IRS and the Post Office. The only two.
The post office does not make money.
Yeah, the post office loses money every year. Also, Amtrak loses money every year. The IRS is the only one that's net positive.
Amtrak is a government agency.
Yes.
It's quasi-governmental.
But
No,
can I ask you a different
It's
question?
like the post office. The post office is the same thing.
Does the IRS really make money, or they just find the money that you owe the government?
They collect more money than it costs to run the
Operation.
agency. Yeah, they're the only cash positive agency.
They're the agency that takes money from everyone, like en masse. Every other agency uses money. They're the ones that collect money.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible the post office may have had a small profit, maybe 1 or 2 years out of 10.
Yeah.
Generally, they're always in a loss.
They're in a loss. The $6.5 billion last year, but compared to like what their budget is, it's like in terms of most government agencies, it's a budget and they spend it. So expenditure almost none of them like gave.
Well, but there's a reason for that, Pat.
Yeah.
Like they literally cut the strings and said you have to cover your costs, and they still don't. But like that's why every other government agency works differently.
But the post office isn't like Amtrak, which that's not 100% loss, right? They do recuperate some sort of money.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like that's what I'm saying, Cackles. I'm saying that it's what like I don't think the post office is the biggest thing. And even if we did get rid of the United States Post Office, we do have enough companies to cover.
Right, we have enough privatized things that, but like, I mean, Amtrak, you need to be able to like travel, but like mail, there's so many other alternatives to that nowadays that, you know, they keep raising postage. Postage is now another 5 cents, and I think it's going up another 5 cents in a couple months. Like, they're running out of ideas. They're just trying to raise postage rates. They don't need that.
Yeah, but look, Bill, just becoming online and everything, they're trying to get you off the fucking postal services.
We have arrived at the point, and I'm surprised actually Trump never mentioned it, but we have arrived at the point where it would make a lot more sense to spend $6 billion to support Amtrak than it makes sense to support the post office.
Or have high-speed rails throughout the United States, like, you know, Japan does, even though they're a much smaller country. I think we can improve transportation here. Let's get a good segment.
Well, there's a reason. I mean, besides just that we haven't prioritized it, there are also big differences between America and Japan, or America and Europe, or in how the country's laid out.
Or better yet, let's make Elon Musk Secretary of Transportation, and he can figure out ways to make transportation better in this country.
Yeah, but then there's going to be giant conflict of interest.
There already is.
That's true.
The whole X thing is, you know, crazy.
Yeah, but
Amazon to pay the post office more money for delivering all their packages, though, because in the hurricane, Amazon dumped all their shit on our post office.
That's the point, Matt, is that Elon Musk probably wouldn't get approved by the feeling. That's why he's being put into a non-votable position.
I think this could be cabinet level. He's trying to make this cabinet level, which means it would require some sort of confirmation.
But right now, that's what I'm saying. He's a Doge commission. He's on a commission. It's not a real position. It's not technically a quote unquote real position. It's a real position, but it doesn't have to get passed.
I mean, they're also talking about recess appointments for cabinet positions, so I think it's that. I feel like as long as they don't have power to actually, make policy, they should not need confirmation.
Well, cabinet doesn't have a position power to make policy.
They're in the line of succession.
Correct.
Which is, besides President Pro Tem.
That's why. I think that's the logic behind it. Making sure that anyone who's in the line of succession is passed. Not.
Well, they're not until they do get confirmed. Anyone that's acting is not in the line of succession, so they need to be confirmed. Before that, they would be acting.
Good point. Remember the TV show about where the whole cabinet is killed against the one guy? Exactly. Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I do remember that show. That was good for a season or two.
He was about to be, or he had been fired or something like that, but because of everybody dying, he was the designated survivor.
What was he the secretary of?
It was agriculture.
Agriculture, right?
The people rebelling against the Secretary of Education in Battlestar Galactica.
I never watched that.
Such a good show.
Yeah, and then it was rebooted, right?
I'm talking about the reboot, but yeah.
Okay.
I could only watch one episode of the original. It was terrible.
Hey, man.
Damn, I think they blocked me from this one room. Unless they closed the room down, but...
kind of stuff, or the bureaucracy of a sprawling government. And isn't that the same thing in Europe? Aren't people in Europe do go through the same process? Aren't things regulated the same way?
In a sense, Europe is very similar.
I don't know.
Depends on where in Europe, of course, but I pretty much live in a sort of Sodom and Gomorrah country. We glorify LGBTQ, drag queen story hour,
chop your dick off, become the other gender, glorify drugs, alcohol, prostitution, all legal, by the way.
I don't know where does that come from. Does that come because our civilization, the civilization is being refined to a degree where, changing gender or...
you see this in the Middle East?
Of course not.
You see this in Africa? Which Africa?
No, you're not going to see, but are there transgender people in Africa or in the Middle East?
No,
there
but
must
I mean,
be.
Sure, but is it being glorified? Is it like being promoted like this great thing, like chop your dick off and become this Hollywood, whatever? You only see this in Europe and in the United States, Canada, like nowhere else in the world.
But who?
No, that's Democrats, by the way. That's Democrats you're talking about.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm just referring to the parts of the world where this is all being considered a great thing to do or a great thing to be.
But isn't that part of advocating for a higher standard of human rights stuff? Where everybody counts. So it's a higher standard of human right kind of thing where they where they say, okay, somebody wants to become a woman, you should respect his wishes to chop off his penis and that kind of stuff. But do you think there's a certain group with a certain agenda that put
policy in there? It's called post abandonment. Like, you can't abandon your post. Like, you have to be fucking, really. It's very paramilitary. It's very fucking, that kind of vibe. Which is cool, I get it, obviously. I've worked at places where, you can't fucking abandon your post. That's not in this one. There's nothing in there.
I've been had automatic weapons. So when y'all say that gangster, like drill rap was the worst, I disagree, bro, because gangster, bro, what? New York and LA alone when they were making music, especially when crack was active, they were killing way more back then than they are now. Today's generation don't drop even half the bodies that y'all were doing back in the 90s. So I disagree, because gangster rap was really on steroids. I get drill rap being more available because, internet and shit. But, as far as, influence, pure influence and, crime rates to show, gangster rap was by far the fucking worst, bro. Them niggas was doing all type of shit. Y'all were worse, bro. I'm not trying to hear. You can't blame drill rap. If you want to be honest, Kendo, drill rap is gangster rap's son. His son, his little teenage son. That's drill rap.
Of course, but it's the worst. You have to consider. I think you overlapping some things. This is what you're doing. You're overlapping gang culture with gangster rap, and that's where you kind of getting it messed up, because you can use it to attribute it being the fuel that might have been behind inspiring other people outside of that culture. Okay, cool. But a lot of that stuff was happening that you cannot just directly attribute to music versus the way that drill is. Drill was actually niggas naming streets and stuff like that, and ops that they smoke. We just seen that Fulio shit.
So we also dropped the music videos, millions of views.
And people grave sites and all of this stuff. Bro, it's completely different. And I understand you might heard the music from your uncle cabinet and shit like that. And then fully and come. I got you. I'm on that. You probably done, listen to some Scarface and all that shit. All these niggas is bad. But, in fact, bro, it was not as much, especially directly coming from the artist, right? This is where I'm tying it in. I'm not tying it into the fuel that inspires a certain culture to go out and commit some shit. Because then we could just talk about GTA and get this shit over with, right? So that'd be stupid, right? We're talking about direct. This is this nigga that done shot somebody that's rapping on the track about him shooting somebody. Like, that's not like, bro, don't, bro.
Yeah,
Gangster rap in its whole, it was only probably about like one or two artists from each coast back in the fucking early mid 90s and shit like that you could really be like, all right, bro, really own that. You know what I'm saying? It's way more motherfuckers than drill that's like really on that scam shit, on that scheme, robbing, all kinds of drug rings and everything, bro. Like some cats in Connecticut, right? They was on a whole murder spree up and down the DMV. Like, literally making songs and tracks. Like, after they killed somebody, and these niggas got over 12 tracks. Each track a body.
and each track 1 million views on YouTube.
Like, bro,
making bangers.
Gangster rap never did
like,
that. Yeah, maybe it was
taking it to a crazy, like demonic level, bro. Like, to where, bro, yo,
it was already
north, bro.
Louis, it was already demonic.
The scene in North Philly, bro, and the songs these niggas are doing after they'll just pop a nigga day McDonald's and make a record about the next.
Louis, but you know,
I'm just saying, like it's different, bro. These guys are inspired by murder. They're inspired by seeing people making records and being about killing people.
But what about LA gangster rap? Because LA gangster rap.
Yeah. What's old dude's name? Who's the dude from the Bay Area? That dude made a song. Forget his name, man, but he made a song. You know, the murder show. And you know they do the repetitive die nigga die. What's his name? Spice One. Spice One. You know, a lot of that shit, man. Right, yeah. Or of course you have banging on wax with the actual Crip and Blood members. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Rapping about like Slob 187 or fucking Crip side is the east side or something like that. Like. You know what I mean? Yeah, Pyru Love. You know, and, you know, by the way, Pyru is the name of a demon, even though that is the street corner that they were on. A lot of this shit was set up for, you know, a lot of the Jewish executives, you know, they took rap, you know, or hip-hop, and they morphed it into something entirely different. And it was demonic, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the the young youth at the time got manipulated by that. And, yeah, there were a lot of killings, man. Like, there was so many cases of guys saying that they were listening to, these different songs, particularly Tupac's lyrics, and going around doing drive-bys on their enemies and shit. So
Ray, answer me. I just want to get his opinion, just right quick before he run away, right? All right. So if let's just use Tupac, right? Is Tupac's song inspiring somebody doing a drive-by actually Tupac doing a drive-by?
Well, when you listen to some of the things that he said,
yes or no, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You know why? Because why would you put you're an influential person? Why are you putting that type of energy out there?
Tupac's like having that scene in the video is different than me actually with my man's pulling up, killing somebody, like shooting somebody, and in the video as well. It's not just like the video.
Motherfucker, I ain't gonna hold. For the ambitions as a rider, can't see me on, I'm ready to slide.
What's that song? If I did die young, who cares? All I ever got was made months of coast. But which song was that? Guys will bump that shit, man, driving around.
That's not gangster music, though.
Oh, I see.
It's really called
Ray, you talking about
the struggle.
Ray, hold on.
No, there's a struggle aspect.
Hold on, I see Duff around the corner trying to figure out how I survive in the city where the skinny niggas die. If they bury me as a G nigga. Yup, that's the song. I see Duff around the corner.
Yeah, but there's, you can make a case that's talking about the struggle. There's one thing about talking about the struggle versus talking about riding on your enemies and shit, man. Once again, a lot of niggas were, it wasn't just his music. It wasn't just his music, but
wasn't just his music, of course, but his music was one of the main ones motherfuckers were driving to, especially on the West Coast.
He didn't turn into that until he came to the West Coast and shit, right? Like before that, he was about Unity and Brendan Gully.
If you go Samoa, if you go back to Tupacalypse, he was still talking about popping motherfuckers and talking about popping the police and breaking into prisons to break his brother. He was talking some crazy shit. I ain't gonna lie. People don't listen to the old Tupac enough. He was revolutionary, but the nigga was crazy as shit. He was crazy, bro. He was talking some crazy shit.
He was, and here's the thing about that. But, you know, he was.
Well, no, he did, because he shot those undercover cops for fucking with the black dude. He did do what he said. You can't be mad at that nigga. He lived what he said he was gonna do. I can't lie.
Oh, why did he kill the nigga at McDonald's and wrapped it up? He actually did that.
Yeah, but you know what? But when you influence, but here's the thing, though, right? Especially when you have niggas that are actually doing that shit for real, and get locked up for it. You know, it's like this when your music is that influential. And mind you, this dude would contradict himself throughout a lot of his albums. He'll talk about Brenda's Got a Baby, or he'll talk about, he'll have, one of the songs.
So you're telling me just because he raps one thing, he can't have multiple subject topics?
He can have multiple subject topics. I'm just saying, the ones where it's talking about killing the nigga, man. Like, come on, man.
He ain't talking about killing niggas and shit like that.
Who?
He didn't have a lot of niggas. He ain't had no songs talking about killing niggas and doing drive-bys and shit.
Well, nah, if you listen to 7 Day Theory and you listen to All Eyes on Me, he was talking about riding on niggas. He definitely was.
He's talking about riding on his enemies. He ain't talking about just doing random drive-bys and sticking up niggas and shit like that. He talking about people that shot him or actually had actual beef with.
Yeah, Tupac was definitely unique. But like I said, man, it's just...
Tupac would run away from these little niggas out doing they shit, drill rap.
Y'all talking about
Tupac? Nah, Tupac would have... Bro, if Tupac came back to live right now,
he would run away from these little niggas, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Nigga, no.
If Tupac would have came out in 2024, it would be irrelevant. Sorry.
Listen, Tupac back then was similar to Tekashi 6ix9ine. A dude out of class, bro.
That's a fact, bro. This nigga was a Juilliard. Didn't he go to Juilliard or something?
Exactly. He was wearing pom-pom shorts, all that shit, bro.
He would run away from these little niggas, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
The community and the same thing Tekashi 6ix9ine did, bro. Tekashi, bro. Why do you think he would run away? You're right. He probably would run away.
About that thug.
No, he wouldn't run away.
Rapping about bodies they actually got. There's real indictments about it.
Nah, he wouldn't run away, bro. Tupac was about that life, but he still was a schoolboy.
Accounted for their safety.
I have a link to the Google spreadsheet of all the people still missing that's updated by the citizens daily. Hilarious. There's still over 600. Sorry. It's so irritating. But this is it's good. They're giving credit to a lot of these volunteer groups. And Red Cross is out of the area now. So all those donations anybody gave?
It's going to Palestine. Red Cross is there.
It's like money laundering everywhere. It's like, how can people not see this money laundering on a global scale? It's So yeah, it's pretty fascinating. That's why I'm quiet, Rafi, and I'm cleaning the kitchen, and I'm almost done this casserole. It's cooling, so then I'm gonna cut it and package it. And
next time I'm about to cash out and they ask me if I want to donate $1 to Red Cross, what do I tell them?
Fuck you, no, and then give me a name, and I'll find give me your dollar. I'll find a fake. They're gonna have to rebuild, like paycheck by paycheck rebuilds. Because all the insurance is dropping them, because no one is covered for all this insurance in the mountains for hurricanes. So nothing is here. And the Small Business Association is bankrupt. There's no money to give to them to rebuild. It's still sitting in squalor. The River Arts District, Biltmore Village, it's wild.
I was just talking to someone recently about how, I love Nashville. I went to school in North Carolina. I used to go to Nashville.
Where'd you go? I went to the Asheville school. Where did you go?
I know. I went to school in the center with Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
But I used to go out to Asheville. One of my friends, older brothers, was a manager of the Orange Peel. People didn't know, like a lot of people might not know this about Asheville, but it's the small music capital of America in terms of they have like 7 venues of less than 2,000 people where huge acts would come and perform because it was like their stopping off point when on their way to fame and everything. And it was it's just a different environment. It's such a cool city. And I'm thinking about plopping a little bit of money there because right now the price.
Yeah, I can't join the critical thinking forum. I wonder how they know.
You know, Steve Martin owns a house in Brevard, like 5 minutes up.
Steve Martin.
I'm sure a lot of like you probably don't even know because it's probably like in S groups and everything like that.
There's a lot of them. But also we went to, so the Salvage Station is a music venue that was already going to give up because of eminent domain. So this last quarter they were going to save, like, you know, they're going to make their big money, but then the hurricane came. But on Sunday night they had a fundraising concert and they auctioned off things that they salvaged, like the artwork from the Salvage Station. They were like auctioning it off. Isn't that brilliant? So then they had a big mashup of all those musicians that you're talking about. They had like brass players, the guitar, you know, they are just like, we're just trying so hard to keep going with it, you know. So
no, I saw like huge acts. I saw Dittmann in college. My friend's brother was like the manager, so like when he'd give us like tickets to sell on the street. So we'd basically be buskers and we try to sell tickets for the venue. But then we'd get free entrance, free drinks, free food. Like it was like everything was hooked up, and we just crashed at his apartment in downtown Asheville. And it was like we'd walk away from the weekend with $400 and saw 2 awesome concerts, all our food, like everything. It was just it was a.
But they also developed a blue color they took from the conch fish, and if they take the juice out of it, it had like a purple kind of color dye. And they said this reminded them of the phoenix. So they called it Phoenicians after the color of the phoenix bird.
Okay.
But it's interesting because then you see what contributions these other people's made to the world, you know.
Then what is the meaning of Israel?
Oh, that's a very famous one. Israel means to... one second. Okay, so it's...
Because I know it's the name of someone, but I don't know the meaning of the name.
Well, if we go with the Jewish history...
It's the name of Jacob.
Jacob, yes. Right. Now, these names are interesting in the Bible because, okay, well, we first had the Semites, right? And they were the children of Noah, right? You had the Sem.
What you doing? See, I didn't want to invite you. Last time I invited you up, you rejected it. So, no. What you say, baby? See what I'm saying?
I'm playing 2K.
Not you, country westerner today. Ascus, Virginia.
I love that part of the country. I dated someone from when I was 19 to 28, and she grew up in Bryson City, like right
Tennessee.
like
Yeah.
Well, it's technically North Carolina, but it's like on the other side of the Great Smoky, like the Smoky
Yeah, the
Mountains.
Smoky Mountains. They're washed. It's been great. They opened up like half a mile down by us, though, on the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is so amazing. But the amount of trees that are down, Pat, it's crazy. It's like matchsticks.
Well, it's a cool area of the country. I hope it won't get attention. Well, like.
Have you heard of Billy Strings? Speaking of good musicians, Billy Strings. Have you heard of this guy?
No.
Okay, he's like a new up-and-coming phenomenon, but he's going to play like 6 nights. It's not like we could get a ticket, though. We're not popular.
My nose is clearing from my soup.
You ever had like the Greek lemon chicken soup? It's usually done with like wild rice or orzo or something.
Not exactly, but
that is what I would talk about.
Yes, I have had that. It's really good.
I dated a Greek girl one time, and I was like, "This is better than chicken noodle," especially when you're saying like it opens up your sinuses with the zest or the whatnot. I'm not sure what it is, but it's one of those like, "Where has this been all my life?" moments.
So the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald got tapped for Congress. That's not a bad choice.
Like the current one?
Yeah.
Was he the guy who led them out of 9/11?
Yeah.
Oh shit, then like, mad respect to that guy. They lost like half their employees.
Yeah, a lot. 658 employees.
Damn. Yeah, that's mad respect to that guy. I don't know what his beliefs are or anything like that, but to get the company through that's wild. Good old Irish company.
Yeah, it's sort of Irish.
I mean, I don't think strike would exist without them. To be honest with you, like Ireland's like poster boy for technological achievements.
I mean, Cantor is not Irish. That was very good.
And doing the math on that, so they had 12,500 employees. That means that 3% of their employees died in one day. That's wild. No more. 5%.
Yeah, 5%. But who knows how many employees they had before?
You know what I just thought about? I can't wait till the woke community goes
goes after kosher salt. Even though it's not kosher, just made kosher salt. I wonder how they're going to change the name of that one. Coarse salt.
Have you ever read the story of Lucky Luciano, Meyer Lansky, and like the New York City kosher chicken market?
Yeah.
There's an HBO show called Boardwalk Empire back in the day, and they were like tertiary characters on the show. And all I kept thinking after like reading about them, there's so many books about these two dudes. They should have TV series dedicated towards the relationship between Lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky. And Arnold Rothstein as well.
They do. It's called Boardwalk Empire, as you just said it.
Actually, now that I think about it, Arnold Rothstein has played a tertiary character in something like that. The White House. You remember the Shoeless Joe Jackson when the Chicago White Sox rigged the World Series and everything like that? He was a tertiary character in that as well. He had like it's. Jeff, you're like in financial services, kind of, right?
Yes.
What's your strategy now?
Charge my clients money and make them money.
Well, no, I mean for like the next 4 years, like personal, like.
And charge them 4 years in fees and make them money.
Do you think home equity loans will go down to 5% or below in the next few years?
Depends on how they cut rates. Home equity loans are almost always tied to the prime rate. So one of the two. So it's more or less a direct relationship.
It's 9% right now. If he can get it down to 6, I will. It's a notorious Trump hate. That's the weird thing. A lot of New Yorkers, prior to Trump ever getting into office, when Rafi says people have short memories. Like the middle class and below in New York City hated Trump a long time ago. And it's funny to now see some of these people who like grew up in families who hated Trump because he owned the West Side Yards in New York City, and if he had developed it, it's now the Hudson Yards, but which is valued at about $120 billion. That could have been all Trump's. He used to own all of it, and he refused to negotiate. He wanted to make a Hollywood East and call it TV Land, and he blocked the New York Jets and the New York Giants, which everyone who's a football fan in New York hated Trump. Because the Buffalo Bills are always like, we're technically the only New York team. Your two teams play New Jersey. And we're like, that doesn't matter. But like secretly, we fucking hate that. And they could have been playing in Manhattan. yeah, it's kind of wild to say. Like I don't get over grudges. I'm still mad at them about that. That's my biggest beef to pick with Donald Trump.
I mean, home equity loans are mid-sevens for decent credit.
I was looking at 9. Penis.
No, I mean, these aren't even like super credit.
Anyone else hungry?
I used to eat, so now.
Oh, dude, I'm hungry.
So you may want to shop around. You might be able to get a cheaper loan.
Yeah, I was looking in the middle of the summer. It was in the 9s. I went to like 6 different banks, and it's
No, that makes sense. We've had at least 2 interest rate cuts. So.
7 isn't actually bad. Like if it could get down to 5, I'd be so happy. I just don't understand why real property, especially when you're taking out such a small percentage of that. I got dropped a mortgage-free house in my lap this summer, and it's probably valued somewhere like on the most conservative range, probably like 700. Like the most optimistic range, maybe like 850. And I was just trying to get out a $200,000 line of credit against it, and they were like 9%. I just don't understand. It's real property; it can be sold. It's just.
They're supposed to make 9 today. I got the mortgage for my parents. They gave me a 2-year fixed at 4.43%.
That's fucking awesome.
Not really when I was sitting at 1.86%.
Who sits at 1.86?
That's what we had here in Canada.
Well, okay, so this is why. Because in Canada, the most you're ever going to get is like a 5 to 7 year. Like their mortgage products are horseshit.
Correct. 5 to 7. You could go even for a 10-year, but 10 years would be really high because they don't know what's a 10 years. So they give like a stupid amount, so like people usually won't choose.
So here we got down to like 3, or maybe 2.75 even on a 30-year.
30-year.
So him being a 175 on a 5-year, who cares?
Not me. Okay. 5 years, shit.
5 years ain't nothing.
What's your amortization periods usually you guys have in the U.S.? What's the longest term you can get?
30.
30. So I think they're trying. So we had 30. They changed it to 25, and I think now they're trying to bring back 30 for first-time buyers.
I mean, they'd have to. Income compared to family home prices has kind of gotten lopsided in the last 25 years.
Can't stop yawning.
What would be a typical interest, like, just out of curiosity, like, what's the longest right now in Canada you can get? If not first-time home buyer, like, not program.
What do you mean? How many years?
Yeah.
Well, the mortgage itself is like a 30-year. Every 5 years, it just says you have to resign. They make you resign at a different rate, so you can go either variable or fixed.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You only get 5 to 7 years on a fixed rate mortgage.
You can go 2 years. Right now, I got offered 2 years, for example. A 2 year is giving me better than 5 years. So a 5 year is like 5-something%, so like 5.2, and a 2 year fix, they're giving me a 4.43, but I'm gonna have to resign again and see what happens in the next 2 years. Either it's gonna go up or down.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Alright,
And sometimes it's good, sometimes
Canada sucks.
It doesn't really suck.
I mean, it doesn't suck that much because those interest rates.
It does suck that much because not only that, but then how much they tax your income rate, and then on top of that, so I have a friend right now who needs a mammogram in Canada. Okay, she needs it because they found a lump. You know, she has to wait almost 6 months before she can have her mammogram.
That's insane.
Because of the medical system in Canada. No, Canada fucking sucks. I stand by.
You guys free health.
I concur with Bliss. Canada sucks.
No, but you guys only get free healthcare, right?
We have free healthcare in the United States. It's for people who are under the poverty line or people who are super old. And actually, it works just fine. And we also have fixed income plans and with our healthcare. So listen, if you can't afford healthcare in America, it's free. And if you can, you pay up the ass. The middle class is who carries the backs of America. The middle class carries America on its back. Yeah, my ER bill is $4,500. Oh, see, I have no deductible. Like my I have insurance. Yeah. $10,500 is mine though. So I pay $7,000 a month for my healthcare insurance, and I have no deductibles. I don't pay out of pocket. Ambulance rides are near free, but I pay for it.
Pay for what?
Is that you pay $7,000 a month?
No, not $7,000 a month.
Is that for your whole family?
My whole entire family, yes.
For $7,000 a month,
costs you $7,000 a month.
Taxi.
It costs you $7,000 a month. That's got to be like the highest level of.
It's the highest level you can get. It's the most you can pay for it. For me, it would be $800 or more a month to get a good health plan, where I would have $30 doctor's visits. I have no copay.
Well, that's I mean, if you have that money, spend it for sure.
Give me that health, baby.
I'm lucky to be like a dual citizen, so my logic has always been the one thing. Again, I'm not saying like cannabis is great or anything, but I've witnessed the socialist netting healthcare system of Europe, and I would say if you are poor or you are middle class, England and Ireland's healthcare system is more optimal for you. However, I will acknowledge that all the wealthy people in those countries, if they ever have serious problems, they come over to America for like the highest.
No, they also pay for private. They have the option for private.
Well, they have the option for private, but at the end of the day, America is attracting the best and brightest stock. Like it is.
Not for long.
At the end of the day, their system isn't so different than our system. The only difference is the government actually operates the entire medical structure for the poor and middle class.
I think it's over.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed you all. He's in the audience and said he wanted to be brought up. And also, I want to ask Bliss, where does she live? Because that number is shocking.
I live in like Denver.
Yeah, I pay like I think $7 or $6.50 just for myself though.
That's got to be on the high end too.
I think that if we didn't have like a child who needed like special medical care, it would be so like if you were normal, if there was other exceptions that were not needed, it would be a lot less. So it's probably about 3,000 more because of other doctors' needs and appointments and things that we have to.
But even 4,000 is like how many people are it doesn't
5.
cover? Yeah, that's still.
That's to make more sense then.
Yeah, there's 5 people, and somebody with special medical needs.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, oh my God.
No. For me, if I went through my work, my healthcare would just be paid for my work, and it would be less than it would be covered. I wouldn't pay.
So you want to pay, Bliss, you pay $8,000 so you're just a medical insurance?
I think a little less than that.
That's still pretty wild. That's even $75K. That's pretty fucking wild.
Welcome to the United States of America, sir.
No, I agree with you, but that's wild.
And I think there's been months where it's a lot cheaper. It just depends on what's going on. Like I think on average, according to my husband, who won't shut up in the background, it's more like 2,500 on average. But there's moments when it's higher. So.
No,
When
this is
you
the one
start
show
using the
up
services,
and
it becomes higher.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about just not paying for insurance at all. And then just like
Oh my God,
completely
don't
out
do
of pocket.
Well, because
That's one strategy.
no, because then if you pay out of pocket, I think that in the end of the year it might be a lot.
Did you ever accumulate what you guys use the services for the whole year and like did the math? Tallying it up? Does it come out less?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not looking at it right
You're
now.
better than me.
That's what my dad did, but he had the benefit of having like I remember when I was 7 years old, we went over for a vacation and I had to have surgery in Ireland. And like looking back, I asked my parents when I was older, I was like, looking back on it, it seems like you knew I had a hernia. And you brought me to Ireland because their surgery was like $800 as opposed to like 8,000 in America. So like that vacation was on like I paid for that vacation kind of. And yeah, my dad was like, yeah, that's what I did too. I remember my dad broke his knee and he went for orthopedic surgery in Ireland because it was $1,200 out of pocket. My goddaughter in Ireland had a brain tumor. She was a 5-year-old girl, brain tumor, a little bit bigger than a golf ball, a little bit smaller than a baseball, like somewhere in between that. And she had 3 different brain surgeries, and she was in the hospital for like 35 days. My cousin is a teacher. He's a one-income household, makes 55,000 euros a year, and that's enough to support a family of 4 in a nice area, Dublin, and everything like that. And I was just shocked at I was like, just out of curiosity, like, how much is that? Like, how much were those medical bills? 2,400 euros he had to pay for 3 brain surgeries and 34 days in the hospital. And in America, that would have bankrupted him.
Yeah, that basically is the problem. Is like even with really good insurance, when you have somebody who's going to the hospital or needs a lot of high-level treatments because of things like that, then you end up in spaces like mine. But I will tell you that if I didn't have if I had worse insurance or higher deductibles, it would be way more than.
Yeah.
I know for a fact people go to Mexico and from Canada, and I'm pretty sure from the US they can use their dental.
Be careful.
I know a few people that went there, they got their teeth fixed because it was literally half the price.
I really would not advise that. Please look at dental schools and look into free services through that instead, because the head, the person who's in charge of the program, they'll be there. Well, not the program, but the class. They'll be there and supervise throughout the entire process.
They put in porcelains, Christy. It was for porcelains.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, just be careful.
It's the non-risky things. Yeah, I get the logic behind that. But anything, first off, if I'm going under, I'm not going to. If I'm getting anesthesia, I'm going to a regulated country. Yeah, exactly. I understand why they went.
So he had it for the kid boys. I know one that just recently got it done. He was playing hockey, so he had I think 1 or 2 of his front teeth knocked out. So he had those implants or whatever they put in there, but they were shit. So he went to Mexico. They did his implants properly, and they did porcelains for the front. So he has a straight smile, and he got a vacation out of it. Plus, he got his teeth done, and it cost him a fraction of the price. It still came out, I think, less than half the price of what was offered here in Canada.
Besides, teeth aren't real important to Russians. All the vodka, they end up falling out anyway.
It strengthens. It's calcium in there. Don't forget, Joe.
I know a lot of people have gone to Turkey for hair implants.
Turkey's, yes, Turkey for hair, correct.
You know what actually Turkey is known for? Forget about hair. Turkey is actually known for implants, for teeth implants.
That too, yeah.
And they actually do it properly compared to in North America, everybody looks like a fucking rabbit. Their teeth stick out after those implants. I don't know why. They look crooked. Turkey actually shaves off your teeth and does them properly. Actually, Turkey's very good at that. The teeth.
The one thing I've noticed is in America, which you don't see in Europe as much, if you go into a club where there's black lights, you can tell who has fake teeth or not. Whereas in Europe, it's not as obvious.
I'm dying.
Yeah, I broke up with a girl because of that once.
That's a wild.
Because her teeth were fake, and they glue in the black light.
I was a freshman in college. I had a black white light in my dorm, and her 2 front teeth just.
Oh, if they all
they glowed. and it just freaked me out and whatever. I was dumb and young and
No, I completely understand now. Like if they don't all match, like if they were all the same color, like in the brightness of the okay,
doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter.
No, but Jeff was saying like just two teeth specifically were glowing, like out of the rest, and like that would be weird.
I don't know. I feel better that she had the majority of her teeth, and maybe she got them like knocked out, like she like hit the curb or like something stupid.
People have lost front teeth in crazy ways.
I
I had a friend with
match them though. Then like
I had a
get
friend
some
with
fluoride or something to put on your teeth to match them.
Maybe she didn't know.
I also don't think Megan Fox is attractive because of her toe thumbs. Like it would be freaking me out if like Megan Fox was in front of me. Like everyone is weird.
My mistake and my loss. Although I think I was really looking for an excuse with her. I wasn't so into her.
What are some other weird icks that you've had before?
It caused me to break up with someone?
Yeah, something where you're like, I can't get over this.
Does it have to be weird?
Like a small imperfection or something, like not weird necessarily, but
I don't think I have another example where I ended something for something that really doesn't matter. Well, I didn't even start something for something that, well, it does matter, but again, kind of freaked me out. I was talking to a deaf mute and absolutely stunning, and I decided she must be a scam. But years later now, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's no scam. Like, how does that make her an advantage? But anyways, who the hell wants to date a deaf mute anyway? Yeah, I don't think I have another, I ended it with someone because they had a pimple on their back. I don't have another one, something like that.
Plus, if you ask 90% of married men who've been married for 20 plus years, the idea of having a family, if you could just.
Wow, Pat. Wow.
Let's assume he was just going for comedy on that one. If Raffi said it, he would have meant it.
And I think that men only want women to be quiet out of convenience in moments when they don't want to take accountability.
No, just generally, quiet is better.
To be fair, I like quiet too.
Yeah, that's true. If you asked,
until you have somebody to talk to.
90%
then what's going to happen?
90% of married women who've been married 20 years would love a deaf mute husband, as well. It's just people who've been married for 20 plus years.
I don't know.
They probably just want some peace and quiet.
Now, I wouldn't want someone deaf mute.
I don't either.
I just I just want my own little space of quiet.
Deaf mute girlfriends are the best.
Okay, let's qualify. First off, definitely deaf would be better. They can still talk to you, and you could learn sign language, but you definitely hear them coming around the corner.
Do you know how dangerous arguing and driving would be, especially if she's driving? I'm just putting up.
Yeah, and I'm going to push back, even as a chauvinist. You're better off with a mute girl who can hear.
Oh, that's actually.
You tell her what you think. She can't respond.
She can use sign language. Again, we're back in the situation of driving.
I don't know.
Plus, you still have to hear fucking horrible stories.
Yeah, you guys are one step away looking for somebody with an extreme TBI.
What's a TBI?
Traumatic brain injury.
Hey, I'm at least saying I regret not meeting the woman.
That's over here talking about how she shouldn't even be able to form a thought.
Wait, deaf mute people can form thoughts, they just can't relay them.
This is such a mess.
Hey, Pat.
if women with trisomy disorders were hot, you'd be going after that. You'd be heading down to the special adult care community, picking up women.
Wait. Oh, I mean,
I hear Billy likes them better when they have no teeth.
No, he likes them with teeth.
Yeah, but question, in all seriousness, a deaf person can't drive.
Yes, they can. What are you talking about? They can totally drive.
Because, and I'll tell you why they can't. Because you're supposed to hear somebody.
What are you saying?
Hold on. I know you can't ride a bike in New York if you have headphones in your ears. Because you need to hear other people. Same thing as driving. You need to hear people are honking or something. There's an emergency vehicle coming, let's say, from an intersection. You're not going to even hear.
Have lights.
No, but you're still supposed to hear during the day. It's kind of hard to see.
I don't know. I don't know. You tell that to the deaf community.
I'm pretty sure that community shouldn't be driving. Like again,
if Rafi's pretty sure, then what do we know?
I mean, Rafi, you forget that like America is the Wild West and something. We let blind people.
We let them get licenses. By the way, we don't have standards in the United States, and most states that you can't. So my very close friend, her mom is deaf, and she drives all the time. She has a driver's license. I don't know.
Do you get a handicap pass with it?
They don't even do a hearing test.
Of course, Rafi. It's America.
Why does a deaf person need a handicap pass? They can still walk from the.
I don't know. I think she actually might have a bum knee. I don't know. I never asked her.
You're not going to get a handicap pass for being deaf.
Let me see if I understand what's going on. Rafi's looking for a girl who's deaf and toothless?
That's my dream. Do you
know, we were debating what would be better.
It's going to be called silent blowjobs. Those are deadly.
Deaf or mute? Would you rather a deaf wife or a mute wife? Or would you rather a deaf husband or a mute husband?
They want me speaking, Pat. Trust me. They don't want me back for not being able to talk to them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the biggest problem is like stories that go nowhere about like friends and everything like that. You just have to sit there and listen to that. So like, I actually almost think I think what Jeff said was smarter.
But in safety purposes, for safety reasons, they should be able to drive.
Rafi, those are myths, and it's very biased of you to. I understand that there's maybe a lack of understanding, but it's also pretty biased to think that just because they can't hear, they're not blind, okay? And so that is a common argument that they won't hear honking horns or other things like that, like a siren, but most of the time, like 99.9%, they have flashing lights. So it's not just a siren. And typically, if you're not distracted driving, there's many times where you won't hear the siren anyway, and you'll see it. Like, they can see red lights. Even trains have things that come down that stop you from going into the train. You know that, right? There's like signs everywhere with flashing lights and these big stripy things that come down and say, hey, we're having a train come through here. They can see.
See, like just going back to like the deaf versus blind, like my logic was a guy married 20 years, like who probably isn't getting laid anymore. He's probably like built his schedule around.
Come up with this stuff?
Hold on a second. I'm just saying, like, I think he built his schedule around like when can I fit in a spank session, and under those specific set of circumstances, a deaf wife would be better because a deaf wife, she's making racket coming up the stairs. I gotta like tuck it away and everything like that. As opposed to like I would say a mute wife has super hearing.
I think one thing we've established is you should not marry a woman who's a ninja.
I was about to say,
and I'm saying
exactly what my head.
Like a deaf person cannot be a ninja. That I can agree with. I think a deaf person can get a driver's license, but not be a ninja.
Pat, you're thinking about this all wrong. If your wife walks in, get off, then she gets to help you finish the job. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but not all of us have great wives.
Billy, that's if she is blind, she can help you finish off the job. You just tell her.
First off, I've been caught by significant others jerking off 3 times, and none of the reaction was like, "Oh my god, amazing! Like, let's go for it." They'd be like, "Why didn't you just ask me? Like, why didn't you just try to like?" like it's never been a good reaction.
I'm just wondering, is it like when you get caught by your significant other?
Welcome to my world.
You can get away with a lot. I mean, if they're deaf or blind, I guess. Like,
First off, I'm saying the common experience. Every single man in here has been caught by a significant other.
I've never been caught.
What? I've never caught anyone. Thank God.
I mean, you could have a whole nother woman and they wouldn't even know, you know?
Hold on. This is a very interesting one.
At least now you know how you're supposed to react.
When you jerk off and you get caught by your significant other, is it like the same feeling? You have the shame, like getting caught by your parents jerking off, kind of?
It's not as bad.
With your head down?
How many times did you get caught by your parents, Raph?
I didn't get caught once. But like I can imagine, like I don't know how you would be able to look in your mother's eyes.
All adults understand masturbation. See, I never got caught by my parents because like I was the logical. A lot of my friends who have gotten caught, like this is a good conversation I've had before actually. My friends who have gotten caught, they were like closing their door, but like you don't lock your doors when you're a kid. I was always smart enough. I was also an only child, so like if there was only 3 people in the house, I would keep my door open when I jerked off because then I could hear them coming up the stairs easier or something like that. Like it was strategy. However, you get a little bit more comfortable when you're in a relationship, like living with. I lived with someone for like I remember she was a wedding planner, so like most Saturdays she had weddings.
You overthink everything. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like you're more comfortable, like in my so it's not. I would 110%. I'm glad that the 3 times I've been caught masturbating has been by a significant other and not my parents, because that would have been like 5,000 times more awkward. Like not even a doubt. But like I'm just saying, Billy had a fucking winner. If you were caught masturbating and then your significant other came in and was like, all right, let's do this. Like that's a level of enthusiasm I never experienced for the 3 times I got caught.
Well, I mean, Pat, maybe you needed to get caught more often, and they would have gotten with the program. Like, you have no idea how many thousands of times Billy got caught.
That's a good point. I should have just been standing spanking it every single night they came in through the door.
Exactly.
I have a picture of JFK masticating right here.
He is masticating.
You guys are fucking wild.
Sam.
I mean, how wild?
This was fucking wild.
How are they wild?
I'm sorry to say.
It's going to be hard for them to masticate.
Hey, Rafi, what's your philosophy on your partner masturbating?
On my partner masturbating?
Sure.
You do.
You're in the Matrix.
She can do herself as long as she doesn't.
At least he's consistent. He doesn't eat pussy and he's not offended.
Hey, Dad, welcome to the room. Have you ever caught your husband or any of your boyfriends masturbating?
No. I'm going to get Gatorade for my son.
What about the son or the daughter?
No. Never. I make them put their own clothes into the washing machine before I wash them.
Do your son's socks stand up on their own?
Have you seen Grandma's Boy?
No. The socks stand up on their own?
Yeah. Grandma's got a good boy.
That was a great movie.
No one can see me.
I need yellow and orange Gatorade. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, we can't give you Gatorade, but
You're basically using us like you should be using like your internal mind.
she
not familiar for you, but we came from a different dimension. So different dimension, still this, took me years to understand what it means, different dimension. But this is what they explained to me. And it seemed that the other dimension, it's not a different place. It's not a physical is existing, but you don't see physically. But it was like a different dimension is not a different place. It's here, but we are not aware of it. And they can move from that other dimension and come to our physical.
Old man that have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Well, I say everything is changing very quickly. It's going to be really interesting next couple of years. I think within 2 years.
This guy hates Trump, I forgot.
This
is Aaron Stone.
Next 2 years. And I don't know how it's going to be. We'll see. But I think there's big change coming. Yeah.
You know, but sometimes I go to counterparts. Like there is this professor that I follow on Twitter. He used to be interested in that when I used to study cognitive science, and she's an artificial intelligence cognitive scientist, so she uses artificial intelligence stuff, and she always talks bad about the hype that's going on, and she says that this is merely hype, and she said neural networks have diminishing returns, and I know it, I can prove it. Like this is only waste of money and time and so on. And there is a group that and they say, oh, it's marketing. These people, they want VC money. That's why they're hyping their technology, but there's nothing coming. And it's
have you been using ChatGPT 4.0?
Yes, and it's very useful and very strong.
Very interesting, yes.
Yeah. Actually, yesterday I was biting a curtain for my room, and I just didn't know which curtain would fit my room because I don't know how to describe it in English. Some kind of tube where you put the curtain in. It has different, one with hook and other with, I don't know.
Get hungry?
No.
Make it more starving when it gets like colder and darker early.
I just like hearty foods, like when it gets darker and colder, like earlier.
Yeah, and hibernation. And vodka, right? And vodka?
Vodka, I'm not a big fan of vodka. Vodka makes the problem is with vodka, it makes me very aggressive lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've noticed vodka makes me aggressive.
Actually, same. I wonder if it's a batch. Something in it. What is
vodka?
It's called alcohol, stupid.
No, so whiskey puts me to sleep for some reason.
Yes, yes. How about tequila?
Tequila, it feels like I kind of there's like a little cocaine in there.
Yeah, the good one.
Yes, it's
the good one.
Yeah,
I either crash on tequila,
or I either crash on tequila, or I black out and it's like you're scared. Yeah,
like a wild night. Every time I drink tequila, it's always a wild night.
Same. But I'm trying to switch because I always was a vodka girl, but my body's just not tolerating. Maybe because I go so long without drinking, I drink like once a month. But still, the vodka, I just get a headache the next day. It's no good.
What vodka do you drink? Yeah, do not drink Grey Goose. There's glycerin. Make sure vodka has less glycerin in it. Because when they add glycerin into vodka, food in it, but it's actually sugar. It's like drinking vodka with Red Bull. And if you drink vodka and Red Bull, what vodka do you drink? Grey Goose. Yeah, that has a lot of glycerin. Don't drink Grey Goose. Yes, just like
No more Grey Goose, everybody. It's glycerin. There's a lot of glycerin in that Grey Goose now.
So the good vodkas, actually, Kettle One is okay. I actually enjoy Kettle One.
I like Kettle One.
And I started to recently enjoy Tito's a bit.
I really like Tito's too. Tito's is great.
Tito's is better than Kettle One. Kettle One's kind of nasty.
Price point, 100% Tito's is like
Kettle One's kind of gross.
Tito's is the best vodka for sure for price point, and for hangovers, it is the best vodka. Also, their process doesn't allow, I forget what they're called, some sort of chemical component. Their process doesn't create that.
So, Jeff,
really,
I know this very well, and the technician who
Are you guys drinking vodka for hangovers?
No.
No, he's saying what's the least? The one that causes the least.
Rocky was saying that like he has the opposite reaction in terms of like a vodka makes him aggressive, whiskey makes him go to sleep. And that's probably his Russian roots. Like I'm the exact opposite. Like whiskey can make me aggressive, and vodka makes me go to sleep. But gin has always been the.
I like gin.
If you're gonna like you want to get fucked up and you don't want to have a wild night that gets out of control and everything like that, gin is like has always been a liquor that is like. Because tequila is too much of a wild card. Like at least with vodka and whiskey, I know what the effects are gonna be. With tequila, it's like it's a kind of a toss up. It's definitely gonna be a wild night. Gin is like the more like I don't know, like which I hate because like British people like, but gin is like the classiest of all the liquors in terms of you know what like it's not gonna be.
So tequila, I'm very consistent. So I know which tequila, how it reacts with the cider.
Just fucking stop, Zach. Just fucking fuck off.
I drink Casamigos. Big fan of Casamigos. And I know every time I drink it, I know what I'm expecting. So when I drink other tequilas, it might play a different role in it, but I stick to one type.
Billy, tequila makes my clothes fall off, just so you know.
Oh wow, okay, Beth. When I meet
I'm making rum drinks. I'm making rum drinks. Rum drinks. Bliss, I took care of that for you.
What?
Was that for me, Beth?
Yeah, I was telling you, tequila makes